We have done our homework and research, and now we present to you the birth years of the Targaryen dragons as well as their family tree, which means which dragons came from which ones. So let's get to it. The first ones are the Unnamed Dragons who came with the Targaryens to Dragonstone along with Valerian the Black Dread. No information is known as to when they were born, therefore they would have hatched from eggs way before 114 years before Aegon's conquest, which means 114 BC, BC meaning the years before the conquest. Valerian was also one of the original dragons that came to Dragonstone, and his birth is before 114 BC. He died in 94 AC of old age at more than 200 years old. It is said that the cannibal was already in the island of Dragonstone way before Aegon and his sisters came to it, so it is also very old, hatching from its egg before 114 BC and living to be more than 2 centuries old by the time of the Dance of the Dragons. So since only female dragons lay eggs, we can rule out Valerian or the cannibal or any other male dragon from being a nodal point for the next generation, and here the branches of the family tree really begin. The Dragon Miraxis was the first Targaryen dragon to hatch in Dragonstone, but the exact date is unknown, and because she was bigger than Vega at the time of the conquest, therefore she is older than her. Quicksilver was born around 10 to 20 AC, which means the years after Aegon's conquest, but she was killed by Valerian at a young age and therefore her line ended there. Vega was also born from one of the Unnamed Dragons' eggs in the year 52 BC. She would eventually grow to be nearly as big as Valerian by the time she dies in 130 AC at 181 years of age. We now come to Dreamfire, Vermithor and Silverwing, who were born around 32, 34 and 36 AC, which is more than 2 decades after Miraxis' death in 10 AC, which only means that they hatched from Vega's clutch of eggs, the only surviving female. Doing a bit of research, we found out that Melis was already a big dragon in 75 AC when Alyssa Targaryen chose her, and the same goes to Caraxes, who was around the same age as Melis, being claimed for the first time in 72 AC, so they would have been born around the year 50 AC. Since there was no other mentions of other female dragons other than Silverwing and Dreamfire, and also that Dreamfire's last batch of eggs were laid around 49 AC, and the next generation, Syrax, Seasmoke, Sunfire and Tessarion would have been born around the year 95 to 110 AC, which is 50 years after the last batch of eggs laid by Dreamfire. Therefore this would only mean that they came from Silverwing's batch of Dragon Balls. The young wild dragon Greyhose was a bit smaller than Sunfire that devoured it. Greyhose was also born between 100 and 110 AC. As for Greyhose, the wild dragon, we have absolutely no idea where this wild dragon came from, as the other mentioned wild dragons were males, no females. Vermax that bonded with Jacaerys was born along with him in 114 AC. Arax that was bonded with Joffrey Valerian, the younger brother, was born a year later in 115 AC. And Taraxis, with the youngest one, Lucerys Valerian, was born 2 years after, in 117 AC. A dragon egg that was placed in the cradle of young Prince Aegon Targaryen, not the Conqueror, at his birth and hatched into a dragon called Stormcloud in 120 AC. Shrikers was bonded with a prince named Jaehaerys, the son of Aegon II, and was born in 123 AC. Morgul, that bonded with Princess Jaehaera, was born in the same year in 123 AC. A young dragon, Moondancer, was born 4 years before the Dance of the Dragons between 125 and 126 AC. And the youngest dragon during the Dance of the Dragons, Morning was her name, was born in 129 AC, 2 years before the end of the war. Then there were many small dragons that were born after that, and they dwindled in size, and the last one, the stunted dragon, was born in the year 153 AC. But there were another set of 3 eggs of Dreamfire that was stolen and shipped to Essos, and over the centuries they became petrified and fossilized. And this is a theory, mind you, so these eggs are thought to be the ones that Daenerys Targaryen was gifted with in her wedding. Therefore possibly they are the ones that Drogon, Viserion and Rhaegal hatched from, which means these 3 are Dreamfire's offsprings, direct ones. So that's it, that's the video. those are the birth years of the Targaryen dragons and also the family tree. So I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button for support and subscribe. But most of all, smash that bell icon for regular updates on new videos here on this channel. Till the next one, take care fam.